Welcome to Tax Teach. Today I want to talk about the child tax credit and the change in the credit from 2021 to 2022. To provide some background, in 2021, Congress signed the American Rescue Plan Act, which among other things, helped increase the child tax credit. Now, the reasoning behind this was in 2021, if you can recall, inflation was very high, and this impacted a lot of Americans, and Congress wanted to help alleviate some of that pressure by increasing credits like the child tax credit for the 2021 tax year. So in 2021, if you had a kid that was under the age of 6, you could get a child tax credit in the amount of $3,600. Also, if you had any children that were 17 or younger, you could get a child tax credit in the amount of $3,000. This is all dependent on how much income you make. If you make over a certain amount, you might not be able to take the full child tax credit. I have a whole video going over this, and you should see a link showing up now. Anyways, that was the first thing the 2021 child tax credit did. The second thing the child tax credit change in 2021 did was it made the child tax credit fully refundable. I'll give you an example to show you what that means. Let's say you had taxes due in the amount of $2,000, but you also had a kid that was 16 years old. You would apply that child tax credit of $3,000, assuming that you meet the income requirements to take the credit, $3,000, and apply it against your $2,000 tax liability, right? The difference between your tax liability of $2,000 and your child tax credit of $3,000, that $1,000, is money given to you by the IRS, right? You paid off your tax liability down to zero, that $2,000, but you also have a refundable amount of $1,000. So it's essentially like the IRS giving you a $1,000 payment. And this was meant to help with increasing price of goods in 2021 due to inflation. The third thing that the American Rescue Plan Act did for the child tax credit was that if you had a 17-year-old, you could apply the child tax credit. Before 2021, if your child was 17, you could not take the child tax credit. Your child had to be 16 and younger. So it's a small nuance, but that's what the American Rescue Plan Act did for the child tax credit in 2021. Also, a thing to note is the advanced child tax credit payment process that was allowed in 2021. Typically, you'd receive your child tax credit when you file your tax return, but the American Rescue Plan Act allowed for you to receive payments before you filed your tax return throughout the year. Just a nuance to note, the difference between 2021 and 2022 is you will not get the same advanced child tax credit payment process. For the 2022 tax return, there no longer is that $3,000 tax credit if you had children that were 17 and younger, or the $3,600 tax credit if you had a child that was under the age of 6. Now, for 2022, you can only get a max child tax credit of around $2,000. So quite a big change between 2021 and now. Just something to note when you file your tax return. Also, another slight nuance is in 2021, if your child was 17 or younger, you could take the child tax credit. But now in 2022, your child has to be younger than 17 in order for you to take the child tax credit. Another thing to note is the amount of the credit that is refundable. In 2021, the credit was fully refundable, which I highlighted in the example earlier on in the video. Now, only $1,500 worth of the credit is refundable. Quite a bit of difference between the fully refundable amount in 2021. Thing to note. To summarize the two major changes from the 2021 child tax credit to the 2022 tax credit is a change in the overall maximum amount of child tax credit you can receive from $3,600 in 2021 to now $2,000 in 2022. Also, your ability to take a refundable credit went from the full amount in 2021 to only $1,500 in 2022. If you're curious on how to fill out the form, I have a whole other video going over how to fill out the child tax credit form, the form 8812. An icon should be popping up now where you can click on the video and see how to fill out the form. Let me know your thoughts on the change in the child tax credit from 2021 to 2022 in the comments down below. I'm curious to know what your opinions are for the decrease in that child tax credit. That wraps up the video. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you liked the video, hit the like button, lets me know that I'm creating great videos for you all. If you want to watch content like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. It's free and it keeps you up to date on all videos I post in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next video.